I'm back. I gotta get this charger. Shit was about to cut out. But yeah, man. We back in this. Chocolatito versus who? Who is that? Easy work. What's that? Mayweather McGregor? Shout out to Miami. Throw a 5. I see you. Aaron, what up? May Mac undercard is not revealed yet, so I don't know too much about it. I just know who's supposed to be on it. That's Badu Jack, Javante Davis, J. Leon Love, and I think Tabiti might be on it. Yeah, I'll get a fade. I'm not tripping. Y'all dudes, what do you fuck y'all care? I sure don't. I just been at the crib. Tank is a beast. I like his style. I like his attitude and his cell phone. Yeah, I heard Riggin' said he could whoop Riggin' like a tank. I don't know if he was using wordplay, but that's the first thing I thought of Javante Tank Davis, because he said tank. Trout versus Hurd, September. I don't know. Chocolatito versus Nui. Chocolatito got to show us something in this rematch, because that's not even a given. Sometimes when a guy beats you, he got that confidence. So I got to see how he looks versus Sor Rungvisai. At the moment, I mean, even before that fight, I was leaning towards the Nui. You know what I mean? Errol Spence Khan, I don't think that'll ever happen. Khan was cool to him too and opened up his gym. I had to find my charger, otherwise my phone shit was gonna die. Saunders Monroe Jr., that's cool. Saunders bothers me because he has some skill, but he just talks too much. Like, I want to see more of in-ring action than outside, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Just how he handled the Golovkin situation. What about a Eubank Jr. rematch? Davis versus Berchelt. I'll pick Davis. Berchelt's cool, but he had some problems with them body shots. And Takashi Miura, he looked like an extremely one-handed fighter. He has power in that left, but he looked real one-handed. Takashi Miura, and Tank has power in both hands, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different. Tank has power in both hands, and he's not like a one-handed fighter like Takashi Miura. The major heat that was coming from Takashi Miura, oh yeah, this shit is good. The major heat was coming from Takashi Miura was left hands. You don't really set shit up. Devin Haney, I don't know. He's calling out Robert Easter. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing that. Jacobs versus Canelo. I think Jacobs too big for Canelo, even though I'm picking Canelo to beat Triple G. Different style though. Jacobs is a lot more athletic than Triple G. They both have power. Just styles make fights. Sullivan Barrera, should he take a light touch? I think he deserves it if he wants to. It's up to him. But if he wants to go right into the fire, I think a fight like Marcus Brown would be great. It would be a great fight for him. Marcus Brown looked good in the last fight. Lemieux versus Canelo. I'll pick Canelo. Canelo overall more skilled. So, I mean, a lot of Canelo's just more skilled. So if he could take Lemieux's power or evade his power, then I'm picking that. 75 does have some killers, and I like it. Yeah, Lemieux hits like a truck though, but he didn't knock out Marcos Reyes, who had been stopped within his last 2 fights before he fought Lemieux. So how the fuck is he gonna stop Canelo necessarily? You know what I'm saying? Marcos Reyes was getting hit with the same truck though, in the same smoke. You know what I mean? I think Canelo's more responsible than Marcos Reyes. I mean, he showed heart, but Lemieux hit him with everything. You know what? I fuck with Lemieux, but what I really noticed with Lemieux, he lacks variety of getting you out of there. You know what I'm saying? Everything's a fastball, and he don't mix it up, like lull you to sleep and then hit you with that major. Everything is like with bad intent, which is cool, but that's easier to read when a guy's just throwing smoke at you the whole time. You're like, okay, everything, and you increase your chance of fatigue. Eubank versus Quillen, I like that. It's a good fight. And Eubank I guess he's at 168 now, but he was saying that he can make 160 still. Quillen was having trouble making 160. Last time I talked to him, he was saying that he might come back to a catch weight. So I don't know. So that'll be a good ass fight. Quillen versus Eubank. Quillen got some real power. David has no skill. I wouldn't say he has no skill, but he lacks creativity when throwing punches. When I guess when it's not working. Like if he gets you out of there, then he just gets you out of there. But watch his fight with Christian Fabian Rios. He couldn't figure out how to get this guy out of there. Same thing with Marcos Reyes. And when you have all that power, like Golovkin gonna find a fucking way to get you out of there. At least a TKO stoppage. I don't really have favorite fighters from any one place. You know what I'm saying? Someone said favorite Puerto Rican fighter. I don't have one favorite. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't relegate a whole island to one person I like. You know what I mean? I fuck with Miguel Cotto. I don't like the Kamagai fight, but I like Cotto's career when he was fighting the Torres and shit like that. I like Felix Tito Trinidad a lot. So, you know what I mean? Macho Camacho. I can't just narrow it down to one person. Why are we still talking about Povetkin? I know he just fought, but that's crazy. Mikey Garcia has never fought a black slick fighter like Broner in the pros. What's up? West Coast was good. That's a solid point. I mean, I'm trying to think of someone he fought, Mikey Garcia fought that was slick. But I wouldn't say Broner's necessarily slick. He has some slickness, maybe, but I wouldn't say he's slick overall. You know, I didn't even watch all of Corrales Castellanos, but I don't like how it ended. I like it when it ends more regular. They traded knockdowns. It was cool, but I expected more. Yeah, Floyd hurting Conor to the body. I can understand that. Floyd does that jab to the solar plexus. That could be bad news for Con. Bad news. And see, Mayweather always says this, ain't no blueprint to beat me. Guys, so when there is no actual blueprint to beat somebody, then you just have to rely on what you think would work. A lot of people come in like bigger, comfy. You know what I mean? I think Conor McGregor would do that. Like if I rehydrate a lot, that shit won't be good if you don't get him out of there in the first 3 or 4 rounds. You know what I mean? If Mayweather's still there in round 6, 7, 8, that's gonna be bad news for Conor McGregor to me. Especially since Mayweather does little subtle things. Everyone, oh, he's pillow fisted, he hits like a bitch, all that. Get in there and have him just suck that air from you little by little. It don't look like he's doing shit, but you see fighters respect it, like Maidana in the rematch. It's not what you think. And Conor McGregor, I've seen him gassed out a couple of times in the UFC, namely with Nate Diaz. Now I understand, like MMA is MMA, but it's still, your conditioning is conditioning, you know what I mean? Like Nate Diaz runs triathlons, and then that doesn't have nothing to do with UFC, but he has the cardio to go the distance in UFC too, you know what I'm saying? So it all kind of makes sense. It all, like, if you have good cardio, you have good cardio. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have impeccable cardio, you have impeccable cardio. It's not like, oh, I can swim crazy laps, but this, I run out of breath very soon. Conor is a y'all funny with these comments. Conor is a hard hitter. That's cool. But Maidana wasn't. De La Hoya wasn't. Canelo. And see, this is the other thing. But y'all bet who with whatever you want. Conor, the way he strikes is better for UFC. I don't really see him punch. Like, the way he turns his punches don't look like Canelo to me. You know what I'm saying? And if you're in a league where a lot of people can't strike at all, then you might mop them up. But if you're in boxing, everybody, that's all you have is your fist. So whether they have power or not, they know how to throw punches, because that's all they have. They use their feet to navigate and all that shit. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's all you have. Like, MMA is not like that. Chad Mendes, he could focus on his wrestling game and jiu-jitsu and some shit like that, and not really perfect his boxing game. So of course Conor McGregor, if he gets it standing up, then he's gonna have his way. Just like Amanda Nunes versus Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey can't fucking box. So yeah, if it's a stand, if she's like a dumbass, she tried to box with Amanda Nunes, she's getting slaughtered. Her best thing would try to have some kind of head movement in defense, get in close quarters, and then do your armbar shit. You know what I'm saying? And I've watched Conor the whole MMA career. I like him. I like him as a person. The Dennis Seaver and all that. I watched all those fights. But a lot of them motherfuckers can't box. You put them in a boxing ring and they will get fucked up royally. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. That's just what it is. So it's different. That's why they're two separate sports. Like I used this before. Rugby in the UK versus American NFL football. It may look like they do certain similar things, or you need similar attributes, but it's two different sports. You know what I mean? And it's two different sports for a reason. Dana was tripping if he said Ronda would whoop Floyd. He was just trying to sell tickets or some shit. But like I said, Amanda Nunes and Rousey is a perfect example. Rousey, as good as she is with judo, she cannot fucking box. And I don't think Conor McGregor's stand-up boxing game is as bad as Ronda Rousey's. However, I don't know if it's good enough to beat Floyd or really anybody. I mean, and we're talking about Floyd, who's 40 years old. Imagine, put Conor in there with Canelo, who's about his size. You know what I'm saying? Naturally. Floyd is really a small dude. Do you know what Canelo would do to Conor in boxing? That's crazy. Canelo would annihilate and crucify. I mean, look at it, like James Kirkland, big punchers and stuff, and he was just getting teed off on. Canelo, he gave Canelo issue for like 30 seconds, and then Canelo held and grabbed him, slowed the pace up, and started going to work, man. And see, what people don't understand too, and this is no knock on Conor. Like I said, I like Conor. I don't gotta prove shit. I picked Conor to beat Jose Aldo, and people said I was crazy. Go check it. The video's still up, 7 reasons why Conor beats Jose Aldo. But I'm also a realist. I call it how I see. And the thing with Conor too is his confidence. I believe he has real confidence, but I don't think it's exactly as big as he I think it's exaggerated a bit. You know what I'm saying? Because like all this stuff is like, oh, I bounce heads off walls. In that Nate Diaz rematch, when Nate Diaz was literally chasing him around the octagon, he wasn't trying to scrap with him. He was just doing whatever he could do to buy time and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Y'all believe whatever you want. See, this is the other thing too that I notice with boxing fans. I'm from the old school, man. Like, we'd be in high school, and if people really wanted to get at the other person, that's it. That's what it was. You would get to that man. You didn't care if there was a yard duty, if there's a teacher. You would get to that person. Nothing but space and opportunity. But then also in high school, we used to see people just having these standoffs and like grabbing each other's backpacks and just stupid shit. That's different. And that's how I tell this young generation, they get hyped off of talk. Oh, but Conor won the press tour. Okay, let's see if he wins August 26th. Press tour, that's cool. Floyd found someone that can match his wits in terms of trash talking, but that shit don't mean nothing come fight night. Broner talked more shit than Maidana. Maidana didn't even say nothing at all. And Maidana handled business on fight night. You know what I'm saying? Charles Hatley I interviewed him. He was talking big shit about the Charlos. Talk real big shit. And then Charlo beat him. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, talk don't really mean nothing to me. Like, that don't mean that you're naturally gonna win. Charles Hatley was saying, like, I'm about to body bag him and anybody can't get it, and jumped in the ring on the Charlos after a victory. I was there. So, at the end of the day, the talking doesn't really matter. It matters what you do when you're in there. I've seen a lot of people talk. Sometimes they're successful, sometimes they're not. But I don't get gassed off of some shit that they said. Tank versus Farmer. Honestly, I don't think Canelo is trying to fight the Charlo twins. He had the opportunity at 54. I'm sure they would have fought him at 55 Canelo weight. And I never even heard no offers, no negotiation. So that shows me something. And they called him out multiple times. Wow, someone brought up Cat Williams. Said he lost to a 5th grader. And he threw the first punch and still lost. Y'all be leaving some dumbass comments straight up. Someone said Robert Guerrero got knocked out in the 3rd and Floyd went 12 with him. But Keith Thurman went 12 with him. Danny Garcia went 12 with him. What the fuck does that mean? You clearly don't know shit about boxing. ZP Goldman, $2 super chat. Shout out to you. Why does Conor get to keep his UFC belts hostage? The almighty dollar, money. The same reason that the UFC allowed him to stall out the game for him to become a two-weight division champion is the same reason. He's making a lot of revenue for the UFC, so they give him exceptions and exemptions and extensions and everything like that. That's what it boils down to. Just like Ronda Rousey. She got her ass beat. Holly Holm kicked her shit in, and she lost. Took a year off. Didn't do no media except for Ellen DeGeneres. Started crying and talking about she was suicidal and all this shit. And then she comes back and don't have to do no type of press. She just goes to the weigh-in in the fight, and then she gets knocked out again. You know what I mean? Special treatment. You making that money, you making that guap, and then they let you do whatever. You know what I mean? See, this is why I don't like these rumors, man. Because people, the thing with the rumor is, y'all don't even read, like, this generation of social media, a lot of y'all motherfuckers is lazy, and y'all don't even research the rumor. You just overhear someone say it. Now, I've had several people say that Brandon Rios is the guy that knocked out Conor in sparring. That's not even what was even said. Jesse Vargas and Brandon Rios, they had just done a charity event in LA, and Jesse Vargas said, I heard that Conor McGregor got knocked out in sparring. Now motherfuckers switching it up, saying Brandon Rios is the one that did the knocking out in sparring. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta open your ears. At least trace it back to the source. Who said this rumor? A lot of people are talking about it. You know what I mean? Go listen to what Jesse Vargas said, and you'll watch the interview. Nowhere in that did Brandon Rios say, hey, I knocked out Conor McGregor. I'm almost positive Conor McGregor and Brandon Rios have never even sparred. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be leaving these comments and getting the rumors all fucked up. That's why they call it a rumor, I guess. It just grows wings and people start saying a bunch of shit. Yeah, I heard Victor Ortiz and Brandon Rios jump Conor. Like, what? What the fuck are y'all talking about? Yeah, Canelo would destroy Conor. And boxing only? Jesse, what up? Yeah. Respect you too. Respect all the fans. Yeah, man. But I will say Floyd and Conor did a great job for this last week getting people talking. Like, there's no other boxing event or UFC event that got this much fucking press and headlines. You know what I mean? People making a million videos and people writing articles, and people don't even cover fucking boxing that are interested. You know what I mean? Like Jimmy Fallon, dude, the one that had Conor on there saying the dancing monkeys thing. I ain't never seen him talk about Triple G versus Willie Monroe Jr. or some shit. Where was he at that fight? Where was he at that? You know what I'm saying? But that's what happens. They're not even talking about other big ass fights like Errol Spence, Kell Brook. Real boxing fans, that's a big ass fight for us. They don't care about that shit. They just care about, it's like a money, just how people call Mayweather McGregor a money grab. That's the only fight some people even talk. Like Undisputed, they don't be talking about no real boxing. If Pacquiao fought Horn, and because Pacquiao's a big name and he got upset, or if Mayweather McGregor, Mayweather Pacquiao, then they'll talk about it. But other than that, when Skip Bayless said, oh, Errol Spence, what I like and what I don't, he don't talk about shit like that. He don't talk about Deontay Wilder. He ain't talking about Povetkin failing drug test. He don't really talk boxing, so I don't really pay attention to a lot of them people. YouTube has more reliable boxing talk than these motherfuckers, these mainstream people. And I could tell because they're dedicated. People on YouTube are dedicated as fuck, you know what I mean? After every fight, you go to their channels, post-fight videos. They're breaking down round by round what they seen. When has Skip Bayless ever done that? Motherfucker don't even know what a pull counter is. They need to pull your ass up out of that show, out of that seat, and put somebody in there that knows. That's just stupid. Yeah, and the fucked up part is they be trying to act like YouTube ain't real media. You know what I'm saying? And they be letting these cornballs that, oh, I went to Harvard and I used to write my dissertation at Stanford. Like, motherfuckers don't care about this boxing. No one care about that. Can you fight? Like Will Smith said in Bad Boys 2. Can you fight? Motherfucker, you can't fight. Like, no one cares about that dumb shit. And I'm not saying like getting degrees or journalism degrees is stupid, but that don't have shit. School don't teach you how to judge boxing. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people that went to school, and I'll fuck them up when it comes to boxing knowledge. You on big old tall ludicrous looking motherfucker, ain't you? You rap? Move, Nick. Get out the way. If I see you on the highway, get the fuck out of my way. You know what I mean? A degree don't give you that. Just like street smarts. I knew this dude that was smart as fuck, valedictorian, all this shit. And when it comes to street smart, he was dumb as fuck. We used to work at Sears. It was this Middle Eastern kid, Rob Vender or something. I forgot his name, something like that. But anyway, he wore a big ass, we had a dress code at Sears back in the day, and he wore a big ass like marijuana shirt, a big ass marijuana shirt or whatever. And we're like, why the fuck are you wearing that to work? You're like punched in helping customers with a big ass weed shirt. And he was like, what? What is it? Man, my boy told me to wear this shirt. And he didn't even know what the marijuana emblem logo was. His boy just dared him to do it, and he did it like a dumbass. And he was 4.0 GPA. So that shit don't matter. What's up, Brow? Somebody said, what city am I in? Don't be scared. What the fuck am I scared of? What the fuck? I'll be in the bay I'll be pushing all around the bay. What the fuck is that? Y'all stupid. Hey Eagle, how do you go about getting a boxing channel that is this big? Passion, the fans, consistency. Those are really the things. If you're passionate If you're passionate and you put in the work, and that's the thing. A lot of people expect this. Like, do you understand? I cover fights when I want to. Real shit, real boss shit. And you know what I mean? Maybe I'll try to get to even more and more fights or more people, but I don't have to. I make more money than some of these other dudes, and they be trying to cover every fight, but it's not about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to. A lot of people think just, oh, because I got an interview with fucking Henry Armstrong the fourth. Like, that, motherfuckers, that don't matter. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that get interviews, but it's not about that, because you have to develop yourself, what you do in this game. You know what I'm saying? Your voice, your public speaking, how you present your videos, all that. Gotta be passionate. You just a hater. Yeah, that's my whole goal. Keith Thurman going to fight. I don't know. I think he'll probably take a tune-up coming off an injury. He just beat Danny Garcia. See, and I'm a realist. He beat Porter and Danny Garcia back to back. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. Of course, I want to see the Errol Spence Jr. fight with Keith Thurman, but to fight Porter and then Danny Garcia, I'm not gonna say he has to fight Errol Spence Jr. I've been wanting to see it for a while, and I've already had to wait this long. Oh, I don't know who Jim is. Yeah, the middleweight tournament is cool. Or I don't think it's just the middleweight. They have cruiserweight, super middle. I heard Chris Eubank is in it now because he beat Arthur Abram. You have Usyk, Alexander Usyk, and Marco Huck and all them. That's good. We need some more tournaments, man. I'm trying to see Tekken out this motherfucker. I want to see Eddie Gordo and Paul fight. All the big names need to be fighting each other. Yeah, other thing with starting a channel is a lot of people, they don't see the results immediately and they give up. Can't do that. It took me a minute before I really start seeing any monumental progress. You know what I mean? Where people, fighters, fans were showing me love. You know what I'm saying? That came with time. And it's a different market. Maybe it's easier to get in the game now. I don't know. But when I came in, at the time I came in, there was only a select few heads that was really talking about boxing, and there was only a select few people who was really doing it. And like, shout out to my dudes like Ness at the Boxing Voice and stuff like that. But I thought I was never gonna catch them. You know what I mean? I was at like, let's say 5,000 subscribers, and they was already at like 13 to 15,000. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, these dudes, they've been doing it. And then, you know what I mean? Through time and consistency, I just kept putting in work. What do you mean by results? I don't know the question. I don't understand it. Where does Barrera go from here? He could take a tune-up. I would like to see a fight with Marcus Brown if he wants to do that. If he doesn't want to tune up, because Marcus Brown's Olympian, I wouldn't say that's a tune-up. I think that's a good look. Who else? Kovalev. That's a name. I don't know what Kovalev. Who's a gatekeeper? Do I like JoJo Smith? Who is that? Yeah, man, I always be grinding. Let people say whatever they want about me. They can't say I don't be grinding. You said people start their channels and give up because no results. I don't know if I said no results, but lack of results. Or see, what people do, a lot of times people create in their mind the results that they expect. So when it doesn't happen, when they don't get the results that they expect, then that's deemed as a failure and then they give it up. That's what I'm talking about. So not necessarily no results, but if you put out a fire ass video and you're really breaking down the fight, or you got a cool interview and it gets 1,400 views and you thought it was gonna get 10,000 plus views, you can't let that shit discourage you. That's what I'm talking about. Because it takes time. You ain't just gonna jump up and be on ESPN level when they post something, or HBO boxing. It doesn't work like that. So people give up when they don't see the results that they envision. Ego, they should have you as a commentator instead of bias ass Larry Merchant and Jim Lampley. Them dudes is seasoned in, and like obviously they don't care that the commentator, HBO doesn't. First of all, I don't even know if HBO even cares about boxing fully, because if they did, they would probably be more vested in not just giving us pay-per-view fight. Pay-per-view fights, to my understanding, is more of a way to sure shot your money. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that they get their money back. Canelo Golovkin, Canelo Smith, because you're actually charging people to watch it, aside from the illegal streamers and stuff like that. So the fact that they're not just putting regular fights on regular HBO shows me they're not fully vested in boxing. So I don't think they have a need or want to change Jim Lampley and Larry Merchant, because they've been saying bias shit. I think Prince Nassim was fighting Marco Antonio Barrera. Don't get me wrong, Barrera was digging in that ass, but Jim Lampley was out of pocket. He was like, Prince Nassim, he needs to pray to Allah. Like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Pray to Allah? It's kind of weird. What's next for Andre Ward? Like I said, he's in the same boat as Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, coming off a good win. If he wants to take a soft touch, if he wants to move up to cruiserweight to fight Tony Bellew or something, then people should support it. Because ultimately, see, this is the bullshit about the boxing game. People have all these morals and values with certain fighters. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, that's bullshit. Ward needs to fight Adonis Stevenson. But Vasyl Lomachenko is fighting a guy from a lighter division off of a loss in which he was knocked down. And he just fought a guy which was basically a tune-up that nobody expected to beat Lomachenko and Jason Sosa, but people are good with that. Like, explain that. Ward, he moved up, and even when Lomachenko moved up, he fought Rocky Martinez, who in my opinion shouldn't have even been a champion, because I thought Orlando Salido beat him when they rematched him on the Mayweather undercard. But besides all that, Ward did what people were expected to do. We've seen how good Sullivan Barrera is based on beating Shabransky undefeated and beating Joe Smith Jr., who I think had one loss earlier in his career, but he had momentum, knocking out Bernard Hopkins. Do you see what Joe Smith did to Bernard Hopkins? It looked like Bernard Hopkins was in an invisible rocking chair and got tipped out of the fucking ring. You know what I mean? Knocking out Fonfara. Adonis Stevenson didn't even do that in the first fight, right? It was only after Joe Smith Jr. knocked out Fonfara in one round, and then he had one fight with Chad Dawson, and then Stevenson knocked him out in the second round. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna have all these values and morals and standards for fighters, then spread the love. Let it be even. Ward did what he moved up in weight, which people said, and he beat Sullivan Barrera and knocked him down. First fight at the official light heavyweight. Fact. Then he fought a tune-up, because that was part of the deal with HBO. He gets 2 tune-ups and then fights Kovalev. He fought Alexander Brand, tune-up, beat him, easy work, and I covered all these fights. Then he fought Kovalev in November. People had skepticism, and then he rematched him right after and knocked him out. I don't care about no Tony Weeks fake Twitter account, all that. So it is what it is. Lomachenko is a great fighter, but he is fighting a guy who looks smaller than him at the press conference, who's coming off of a loss, and who people aren't giving any chance to beat him. Andre Ward versus Kovalev Part 1 and Part 2, I know several people, I've seen several comments where they said Kovalev is going to knock SOG's block off. They're going to knock this motherfucker out. There were people thinking that. I don't know one person who's intelligently picking Miguel Mariaga to knock out Lomachenko. I haven't seen it. Who's picking Mariaga? Who's picking Mariaga? Like, man, that motherfucker Mariaga, I know he lost to Nicholas Walters, a guy Lomachenko beat. I know he lost to Olympian Oscar Valdez, but he finna work Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, spread the love. Keep it consistent. If you don't have a problem with Lomachenko fighting Jason Sosa, who we knew couldn't beat him, and then fighting a guy off a loss in a lighter division, then you shouldn't have a problem with Errol Spence taking the tune-up. Deontay Wilder, Andre Ward, American champs. And that's the bottom line, because the Stone Cold said so. Okay, someone says Lomachenko fought killers. Walters was off of a long layoff, which that you have to factor that in. That's like me saying Cotto beat a healthy Sergio Martinez. Does anyone believe that? Does anyone really think that Sergio Martinez was in the prime of his career when he was requesting a fucking knee brace through New York? See, a lot of y'all motherfuckers want to omit certain things. And then let's talk about Gary Russell Jr. Half of you motherfuckers that are saying this, half of you were saying that Gary Russell was a tomato can killer, because I had a channel back then. And you said Gary Russell was beating up tomato cans. But now that Lomachenko beat him and looked great in doing so, and I think that's Lomachenko's best win, now you want to give him, Lomachenko, a ton of credit for that win. But before, he was like fighting Jose Tamayo or somebody, and then you guys were saying, oh, who the fuck is that? Gary Russell's the tomato can killer. No, I never said Gary Russell is bad. But I'm saying at the point where he fought Lomachenko, people were saying he hadn't fought nobody. But now all of a sudden Lomachenko beats him and people want to give him a ton of credit for that win. Gary Russell is not a bad fighter. It's still a good win. But what I'm saying is a lot of people are liars and they're hypocrites, and they gave Gary Russell no credit. But then when Lomachenko beats him, then Lomachenko gets all the credit for destroying Gary Russell. That's what I'm saying. Gary Russell is a good fighter, but it was only after he became a champion. When Lomachenko fought him, he wasn't a champion. You know what I mean? He's looked better after. And that's just what it is. What do you mean B-Hop better retire? Did he talk about anything else? You know what? Y'all might think I'm crazy or like, oh, you're biased because you know Daniel Jacobs, man. A lot of fighters ducking Daniel Jacobs. Golovkin. And I can't say for Golovkin, I can say he's ducking, but I can't say he's ducking because he at least had the balls to fight him. But now that he's seen what type of fight it was, him and his team don't really want to fight him again. That's just a fact. Because Abel Sanchez did an interview with On the Ropes Radio. See, y'all gotta remember, I cover boxing. So I talk about all these things. I make videos about, so it sticks with me. Abel Sanchez did that interview with On the Ropes Radio or whatever, and he's like, yeah, we're not looking to fight Jacobs, maybe like 5 or 6 fights. But now, when the Canelo fight signed, they're talking about he might retire or move up to 68. So, Triple G, they don't really want to fight him. They see what type of fight it is, they got past it, so they're not looking to revisit that, at least anytime in the near future, and that's really per his own team. But people who are outright ducking him, Billy Joe Saunders. And Billy Joe Saunders, there was a post on Instagram and that I made, and then Daniel Jacobs commented on my post, and he was like, Billy Ho Saunders. That's what he called him, because he had already extended the invitation to Billy Joe Saunders and he didn't want no work. And then there's documented, you can go on Twitter, Daniel Jacobs got at David Lemieux. He was like, David Lemieux, what's good? You a good fighter, I'm a good fighter, what's popping? Let's try to get on this Canelo Triple G card. And David Lemieux says something very close to this. He says, I got bigger fish to fry. I would love to fight you, but I got bigger fish to fry. Who is David? You know what I mean? People I love David Lemieux, but who? Who is a bigger fish? Unless you fighting Canelo or Golovkin rematch, who is the bigger fish? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, who's a bigger fish than Daniel Jacobs right now? And Abel Sanchez, the guy whose team, his side beat Daniel Jacobs, he says, I think when Golovkin moves up to 68, Jacobs will be the man at 160. He'll be the kingpin because he's that good. So who is David Lemieux's big fish to fry? Daniel Jacobs is the big fish. The other dudes is more fish sticks than a big fish. But, you know what I mean? Every fighter has to move how they want to move or whatever. But who wants Andre? Andre Ward's in the zone. And I tried telling you. Troy King's in LA. We were supposed to link up, but as you guys see, I didn't end up going, as I mentioned earlier. So I'll try to catch him when he gets back. He's not in town. I don't know about Andre Ward at heavyweight fighting AJ. That sounds crazy. Lemieux's a good fighter, but what bigger fish to fry than Daniel Jacobs? And I'm going to be waiting. I'm going to be waiting to see who he fights next. Unless maybe he got a confirmation from Golden Boy that, hey, Canelo Golovkin winner is yours. Or something like that. Someone said, what am I sipping? Y'all better recognize it. But that, I'm telling you, a lot of people look at it like this, man. This is how the game works. If you win impressively, you don't really see motherfuckers calling you out. When people don't feel like there's enough chinks in your armor or enough vulnerabilities exposed, people don't call you out. Like Errol Spence, the way he beat Kell Brook, I haven't seen hella people calling him out, except for Jeff Horn. But on the flip side, when Jeff Horn beat Pacquiao, since it was somewhat controversial and people feel there was vulnerability showed from both fighters, a million people calling out Jeff Horn. You know what I mean? And that's how the game works. Daniel Jacobs, even in losing, he lost so triumphantly, or he looked good in losing. It wasn't like it was like Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? Minus Sean Porter didn't get knocked down. But it wasn't a loss. Like Robert Guerrero losing to Omar Figueroa, that was bad. That's a nasty loss. That's hard to bounce back from. Daniel Jacobs losing to Golovkin in that fashion, it wasn't a bad loss. Sean Porter losing to Keith Thurman in a contested bout is not a bad loss. And people see that and they know, damn, Daniel Jacobs, he just went in there with the boogeyman, win 12. And he broke that 23 knockout streak. So now people don't want to rump with him. Like Jay-Z said, super facts. I'm definitely not going to Cotto versus Kamagai. You guys have to understand, I don't have endorsers. Like, you know what I mean? I fund my trips and shit like that. And it got to make sense. It got to make business sense for me to, like, make certain trips. And even though it's in my state, LA, from where I live, if I drove there, it's 6 hours. People don't realize how big California is. That shit is 6 hours. I could catch a flight, but depending on late planning and stuff like that, flight, unless you can get a good deal, 150 to 250 one way. I'm not doing that for no Cotto Kamagai. That's it. Especially on the same night as Conor McGregor versus Floyd. Hell no. That don't even make no sense. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I never went to them LA fight clubs. I mean, that's cool and all that, but unless I was already in LA, I'm not going to that. You know what I mean? I don't think Kamagai is being underrated, but what do I think of Stephen A. Smith covering boxing so much now? I don't really care. Don't affect me. No, it's good because he don't know shit about boxing really, so it just makes my channel stick out more. Blasphemy! Like, you don't be talking about nothing. I don't know if Cotto beats Kamagai easily because he's off of a long layoff. It's just not that compelling of a fight for me. Like, where I'm like, man, I gotta see this. Actually, y'all can say whatever. Some people, oh, you're not a real boxing fan. I'm more interested in Floyd versus Conor than that. That's just my honest opinion. Just because it's a weird fight and it's Floyd, you know what I mean, and it's Conor. So I really care about the outcome of that more, just to see how it all plays out. Does Floyd stop him? Does it go to decision? Does Conor come out the woodworks with some heat? You know what I mean? That Cotto Kamagai, I'm not really checking for it. It's just what it is. Make sure y'all hit the like button when I go live too, because I think that prompts YouTube to put it in the home feed or whatever when it sees it's getting likes. So take the couple seconds to hit the like button, because a lot of times when I go, like my regular videos with just audio, people just like it naturally. You know what I mean? The likes go up. Every time I go stream, people just think, oh hey, and then they just start typing their comments and stuff. But for me to keep doing these live streams and shit, just we want to get the most audience that we can. So take the extra few seconds, hit the like or dislike. All that's interaction, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna answer a few more questions. What the fuck? I'm gonna answer a few more questions, then get into this place. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's some, and I understand it, because when you go live, you just want to start commenting and joining the conversation. So people oftentimes forget to even hit the like button. But a regular video is already like pre-recorded. You know what I'm saying? So you just upload it and you're like, oh, that was a cool interview or whatever. You just hit the like button. Do I think McGregor will wear boxing shoes or bare feet? What the fuck? Why would he wear bare feet? That don't even make sense. And get his toes stepped on? Someone said he'll wear clown shoes in the ring. That's funny. In case you missed it, I just talked about Troy King's in Los Angeles. I was supposed to be there. I got sick. That's why I didn't cover Miguel Berchelt fight. And I can't link up with him until he gets back in town. Yeah, someone said only way Conor makes it competitive is if he roughs up Floyd. But the thing is, Maidana's an actual boxer with a great resume, and he tried that, and he still came up short. And Maidana had a crispy-ass jab when he hooked up with Robert Garcia. So it's like, how can Conor do better than that? And honestly, I can't really say that Conor is just hitting so much harder than Marcos Maidana. You know what I'm saying? Put Marcos Maidana in them little ass 4-ounce gloves. He used to be in gangs and shit, so I'm sure he used to street fight and stretch people too. You know what I mean? And Maidana's like, Maidana, see, this is the thing. Y'all can think whatever. I peeped this whole game. But Maidana, the thing I like about Maidana is he gets hurt and he still don't give a fuck. That's how you know he's real. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be like Floyd, how he's like, oh, Conor's a quitter, because I think to a degree Conor shows heart. But when the going got tough with Nate Diaz in the first fight, he tapped out. Even in the second fight, he started kind of running, trying to create space, looking up at the clock and stuff like that. Marcos Maidana don't do that. So to me, Marcos Maidana really don't give a fuck, because when Amir Khan dropped him, boom, with a nasty body shot, fast, precise, accurate, Maidana looked like he didn't never want to give up, never want to get up. In that first round, when both fighters are sharp, he got the fuck back up, and Maidana got back into the fight and gave Amir Khan hell in them later rounds. He got hurt in the Josito fight, gave him hell. You know what I mean? He was hurt in the Broner fight, but he held on. He had did enough good work. So I can't even say that Conor has a ton more heart. I definitely don't think his style is more boxing than Maidana, even though Maidana's awkward. And Maidana tried that. And again, I can't say Conor McGregor is hitting way harder than Marcos Maidana. I really don't believe that. I think Maidana, if he hit some of the same people with 4-ounce gloves, they would be hurt too. Especially when he's like chopping. Like, Maidana don't give a fuck. Maidana's like coming. Them fighters from Argentina, a lot of them, it's unorthodox, and they're like just trying to get at you, and it still hurts you, punching your arms and shit, chest, all that. Someone says, am I moving to Patreon? I don't even know what that means. I have a Patreon. Thank you for all the people who have donated to it. But I'm gonna have some exclusive content and stuff that we're pushing. Yeah, I mean, Maidana, if you look at his early record, he was knocking all them dudes out in Argentina, all of them. So you put Maidana in some 4 ounces, he'll fuck people up. Do you see how he hurt Jesus Soto Caras, who at the time was known for having a good jaw, a good chin, and he really fucking hurt him. Like, and this was in the Maidana fight versus Soto Caras was before Keith Thurman, and Maidana hurt him bad. So yeah, if he lands, I mean, and see, like, look at the punch Maidana landed. He timed Floyd in the second fight. It was like his only real good punch. At the end of the 3rd or 4th round, he hit Floyd and the punch went into his face like that. And they said it knocked out his fake tooth or some shit. And Floyd just shook it off and went back. So, I mean, what is Conor McGregor going to do? Like, I don't think, and like I said, the biggest variable with Floyd for me, do you need to be rich to live in Cali? it's expensive, but not rich. I wouldn't say you have to be rich. It just depends where you live, though. But the biggest thing for the Conor McGregor fight, for me, is father time. When you see Bernard Hopkins and Pacquiao's and Floyd's, guys you know who are older than the younger crop of fighters, it's always going to be interesting to see, you know what I mean? Like, will Pacquiao be able to get past Jeff Horn? Will Father Time catch up where he can't take a shot the same? You know what I mean? So that, I think that's the Conor's size and power, plus the fact that he's 40 and he's on a 2-year layoff. You know what I mean? That's the most, put it this way, this is the best time that fight could happen. Because if it happened, let's say after Floyd fought Robert Guerrero, he fought Cotto, Robert Guerrero, and then Canelo. Let's say he tried to fight Conor then it wouldn't have been right. That, you know what I mean? It would have been, even people are saying it's a mismatch now. It really would have been a mismatch. He just beat Canelo and Cotto and Guerrero, you know what I mean, back to back to back. So that would have been worse to me. But the fact that he's been off for 2 years, people have the doubts, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, did that catch up with him? But you don't really know what Floyd was doing in them 2 years. He might have been training like knew he was coming back. I don't know. That's why curiosity is gonna kill the cat, and this fight's gonna do some numbers. Yeah, someone said Floyd that beat Berto destroys Conor. That's the other thing. People don't understand. Berto can crack. Berto has snap. Like, Sean Porter's my dude. This is no diss or no shade to his style, but his style, part of what was giving Berto problems was that he was so fucking physical. And Berto, he gets flabbergasted sometimes. Like when he fought Robert Guerrero, Robert was just like mushing him and rushing him and all that shit. That's what I noticed, that pressure. Soto Caras even a little bit. He only had one arm in that fight, but overall, pressure like that bothers Berto. You know what I'm saying? But you look at the Floyd fight with Berto. Floyd's a tiny guy. He looks smaller than Berto. So he doesn't have that same ruggedness that Sean Porter has, where he's just everywhere and all that to rely on. And he still dismantled Berto and like beat him pretty much every round. So that's the difference. Floyd had to beat him based off of ring IQ, wits, accurate punching, etc. He wasn't like, Berto didn't have no cuts and headbutts. And if you guys remember, Floyd hurt Berto in that 12th round. People don't talk about that. And he hurt Cotto in that 12th round. People don't talk about that. But if you know boxing, go watch that. I don't have to make shit up. Berto was hurt with, I think it was an uppercut. So the danger for Conor, if Conor comes in sloppy, Floyd's accuracy. And Floyd's a complete fighter. That's what it is. And that's why I hate talking boxing with a lot of y'all clowns, because it's always about dick riding. If there's a complete fighter, name a more complete fighter that's proven like Floyd Mayweather. You can't, because he's been doing it for 20 years. He can jab, he has an uppercut, he can fight off the ropes. I mean, who could you name? You know what I mean? But then when you speak on it, oh, you're dick riding, you're sucking Floyd's dick. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, but see, this is the other thing. I fuck with Rigo. I like him a lot. He just paid my channel some homage too, and I appreciate him for that. But Rigondeaux, for whatever reason, he gets knocked down in fights. You don't even really see Floyd get knocked down. You can bring, oh, Zab Judah, his glove touch. But when have you seen him get knocked down? You know what I mean? He got knocked down versus Donaire, Amagasa, maybe somebody else. Amagasa was twice, I know that. Donaire knocked him down once. Floyd don't even get caught like that. You know what I'm saying? So take it for what it's worth. So, and the other thing is, Rigondeaux, although he's a standout amateur, he only has like less than 20 fights. Floyd has 20 years. Floyd has an underrated chin for sure. You can say Floyd has a better chin than Rigo, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, that's part of the Floyd package. You know what I'm saying? You can't, that's like, it's like Amir Khan. Amir Khan is one of the fastest people in boxing, but some people question his chin. So at the end of the day, that comes with the package. That's part of the fighter. You can't have the speed of Khan and the volume of Khan and everything else, the Olympic background, but not talk about the chin. You know what I'm saying? So if Floyd was blessed with a better chin, then that's just part of his package. Every fighter has a package. Every fighter has different. Pacquiao, he does certain things very good. He's awkward, his speed, he has power in that left, one of the best straight lefts in the last decade. So that's just part of, but part of his package is he doesn't do good with boxers, and he's reckless. And you could catch him, you can time him. That's just what it is. Rosado versus McGregor, who is that? Gabe Rosado? What are you talking about? Yeah, Floyd got a crazy game, even on the ropes. That's what I'm saying. Like, people, I'm gonna use this example since someone brought that up. People, if you take all the dicks and penises and all that out of the conversation, when I look at like Golovkin, for example, and people ask me why I'm gonna pick Canelo, it's because I've seen Canelo, I've seen Floyd do more things skillfully than Golovkin. Like, one thing I have not seen Golovkin do, and you could credit some of this to his style, is I never really seen him fight large chunks of the fight backing up. So part of that might be because he does so well coming forward and cutting off the ring, but I don't see him fight off the ropes. I don't see him fight off the back foot. So to me, I'm not really confident that he can do that. You know what I mean? Floyd has had to adjust. He's fought bigger guys. He fought rough guys like Maidana, so he's had to fight off the ropes. Cotto, he had to fight off the ropes. Cotto was trying to bully him, and Cotto has strength. You know what I mean? I've not really seen Golovkin fight. Name somebody in the comment section, name a fight where Gennady Triple G Golovkin was fighting off the ropes and he was like, you know what I'm saying? He was like countering and like doing some cute shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like slipping and countering and shit. When have you ever seen that in any fight? Somebody please leave a comment and tell me, because a lot of y'all get mad when I say this about your legends and your idols or whatever, but you don't prove me wrong. When has Golovkin been on the ropes and then bow and like he's just hitting you and he's like blocking shots and he's like countering, and you can't really do all of it with the, like holding this mic, but tell me the fight where you seen Golovkin doing that. I want somebody to tell me. Y'all aren't leaving. I see a million other comments, but no one's telling me. I don't care about Errol Spence. I care about Golovkin fighting off the ropes. See, that's what people do. Like, I've been doing this too long. What people do is they defer and deflect. I want to talk about Canelo Golovkin. I don't care about Errol Spence. I don't care about Johnny Unitas. I'm talking about Golovkin. When has Golovkin, when have you seen him fighting off the ropes and like deflecting shots, countering, and anything like that? And it has nothing to do with Errol Spence. That's what people, but Jeff Horn hurt Pacquiao. Like, what? What does that have to do with anything? Let's talk about Golovkin. He might be too big for Golovkin, or for Canelo. We'll see though. But that's my thing. When has Golovkin ever showed you that? And when I say a complete fighter, it's because through one reason or another, I've seen Floyd put in those predicaments. So to me, Golovkin, if he's never ever been put in any of those predicaments, maybe it's the level of competition he's fought. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's not able to do that. I don't know. But I just want to know, when has Golovkin ever fought off the ropes? So nobody could push, Golovkin's just invincible and nobody could push him against the ropes. What does that say about his competition? I'm talking about, like, not even for the whole fight. I'm talking about for even a small spot, like a millisecond of a round, like 30 seconds of a round. We've never seen anyone be able to do that. No one? I don't believe that. I've seen people do it to Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? I really don't believe that Golovkin is just this inhumanoid where nobody can push him back. That's just, I don't see that. That's like almost impossible. So that means he probably hasn't fought anyone that could do that, or that doesn't have all of the tools to do that. And that's just what it is. That's what I honestly see. So when people ask me why I'm picking Canelo, that's a huge reason, because I've seen Canelo do more. And what it boils down to me is Golovkin's a very good offensive fighter, but if Canelo can take his shot That's the biggest question mark. And if Canelo takes his shot good, then the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? If Golovkin bow and then Canelo gets knocked down and he's rattled because he's not used to being in that position, then okay, Golovkin can win. But when I look at pure skill versus pure skill, style, I really see Canelo having more skill. But it's a good fight because Golovkin has an excellent jab, and I really need to see how Canelo's going to get past that. But if he can get past that and take Golovkin's shot, then I think overall he does more. He does more to me. And that's just what it is. And see, this is the thing. I keep it so G. Like, a lot of y'all, ooh, I hate your channel. At least I have the balls to be interviewing these fighters and still give my thoughts and predictions on the fighter. I don't care. I mean, what are they gonna do? Swing on me? Like, you know what I'm saying? I can speak my mind. And that's the thing. Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd, Conor, all these guys can say whatever they want. I can give my fight predictions and say what I feel. And that's what I feel. Canelo versus Golovkin is a great fight. It's good for boxing. I'm picking Canelo. If I'm right, then it is what it is. Add it to the other ones that I've been right with. If I'm wrong, props to Golovkin. You the man. You did it. That's what I'm saying. Some of y'all take this boxing shit like, this is my job. I get paid off of this. Some of y'all act like y'all getting paid off of this because you take it way too fucking serious. Like, if Golovkin wins, good. I mean, what's next? You gonna do a rematch? Like, it don't shake up my life. If Canelo wins, Canelo punked out versus Mayweather. I don't agree with that. Shout out to Jersey. I don't think he punked out. He didn't know what to do. He was 23. That's no excuse, because he had been calling out Floyd for a year or 2 years, whatever it was. He don't know what the fuck to do. That's what it is. Raphael, what up? Yeah, I mean, he didn't know what to do. Floyd gave him too many different looks. I don't think he punked out. See, a lot of people, they say that because they're doing it off of that machismo shit. Oh fuck, like expecting Canelo to represent and all this dumb shit. That's not. It had nothing to do with it. Floyd just way more knowledge, and Canelo didn't know what to do. Why do you always shit on your viewers though? The only people who should be taking offense to it is if it pertains to you. I don't shit on my viewers. It's like literally impossible to shit on my viewers and then have a channel that's successful like mine is. If all I did was shit on viewers, then why would anyone watch me? So clearly that's not the case. But I speak my mind and I'm passionate, and that's what it is. I'm not shitting on viewers. I'm shitting on maybe a certain percentage, but it doesn't affect most people because most people are just straight boxing fans and they come here for opinions. You dig? He shits on stupid comments. Thank you, Chin Smoke. Yeah, it's not shitting on viewers. I'm not like, oh, fuck you, your mom's a whore. I'm not that shitting on viewers. But if people say crazy shit, then that's what it is. Barrera is the real deal. I agree. I like Barrera. Best channel for boxing. Thank you. Chance that Canelo robs Golovkin? I mean, I wouldn't put anything past boxing. And Canelo, he's the man on the scorecards because they had Amir Khan. I thought Amir Khan easily won the first 4 rounds. And then he got slowed down, and I gave rounds 5 and 6 to Canelo. And 2 of the 3 judges were like, nope, Khan lost every round or something stupid. Or they gave him 1 round or some stupid shit. So, I mean, it's a chance. But realistically, Golovkin, to me, he doesn't have the style to get robbed on the cards, for me. Like, if it's clear cut, the way he fights, I think it's going to be clear cut he won if he does win. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see him having the style where it's so controversial. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Spence and Golovkin fight nearly the same fundamentally, you have to admit. And people give stick to other. I don't agree with that. I mean, there might be certain similarities, but there's a lot of differences too. Golovkin's not a fucking southpaw. And I think Spence is a lot more athletically inclined than Golovkin. And Spence, here's another big difference that has nothing to do with, I guess, physical attributes. Spence is, what is he, 28 years old? And he's already fought a top guy in his division. Golovkin was 34 when he fought Daniel Jacobs, a top guy in his division. So I don't really see the comparison. Like, you know how much shtick that Errol Spence would get if he waited till he was 35 to fight Keith Thurman? Honestly, ask yourself that. Oh my gosh. McGregor's in his head. That's cool. August 26th. There's not really nothing to talk about. Press tour is over. We'll see who's in whose head and all that. But for all the people previously who doubted why this fight should happen or said it shouldn't happen, just read the comments. McGregor's in his head. Floyd knows he's too small. That's why he was wearing high heels. These are comments coming up. So for people like that, and the Brendan Schaubs of the world, and Joe Rogan, all these other motherfuckers who saying Conor has the greatest shot out of all boxers, that's why the fight got made. So nothing to be mad at. Floyd waited to 38 to fight Pac. LOL. Good thing you laughed at the end of that, because that sounded pretty stupid. Because all Pacquiao had to do is take the drug test. And Freddie Roach has admitted this. It's on Dante's Boxing Nation. He has the interview with Freddie Roach. He said it was basically our fault because we were being stubborn and didn't want a drug test. Boom. Shout out to Edwin Calles. He just donated $10 super chat. We working. I'm telling y'all, man. We got some good shit coming up. Do you think Jeff Horn is going to win the rematch with Manny? Who's next for Andre Ward and Spence Jr.? Oh, I don't know. I had Pacquiao winning. I haven't watched it a second viewing. I had Pacquiao winning, but I understood why people might, after like analyzing certain rounds in my head again, I understand why people might have had Horn winning. But you never know, because Pacquiao might come out more relentless, or Jeff Horn, he might have all the confidence in the world. Like, man, I heard him in that 6th round. Dun, 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 dun. But Pacquiao, now he has nothing to underestimate, because you know you win 12 rounds with him. You know what to expect. So it's really a coin flip. Andre Ward, I just want to see him active. Like, if he wants to go to cruiserweight, fight Tony Bellew, I'm with that. Marcus Brown is a good fight for him, coming off of 2 back-to-back knockouts and sensational knockouts. Sullivan Barrera rematch, I don't really have to see that, but if they want to. And then what's next for Errol Spence? I don't know. I just want to see him stay busy. Same thing. Like Luis Collazo, see if he can do better than Keith Thurman did. Brown looked really good, real strong. I had doubts about Brown. I have to admit, when he fought that Rods Kalaga, it was on the Errol Spence Chris Algieri undercard. I thought he lost that fight, and they robbed the other dude. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's like real. There's a lot of letters in it. I don't remember, but I thought Brown lost that, and that was like one of my first times really getting to watch one of his fights full straight through. And I was like, wow, this is the guy I've been hearing about. But since that point, he's been looking sharp. So, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Come back from the controversy and you knock out motherfuckers, or you improve and just look better overall. Omar Figueroa is trash. Why you say that? If Loma versus Rigo doesn't happen, what do you think about Rigo versus Gary Russell? That's cool, but Gary Russell's been trying to get a Lomachenko rematch, and he's talking about moving to 130 if he can't line it up with a champion. So I honestly rather see a Lomachenko Gary Russell rematch than Rigo Gary Russell. That's just me, and part of it is because of what Gary Russell said after his last win. He said he's trying to move up. Next, super chat, $2 donation from NT Texas 214. Thank you for the super chat. Star in the Morning, live. I don't know. I guess you have a radio show. That's Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 on YouTube Live. So check them out. Show Texas some love. Rigo is avoided. People don't want that smoke. So they think of all the excuses in the world. Oh, he's boring. He can't sell. Nah. Did Mayweather McGregor press tour look fake to you at all? No. I mean, they did the WWE thing. It didn't look fake. They're both just shit talking. 175 light heavyweights definitely stacking up. I'm about to get in here and get this Thai soup. Well, actually, this is Vietnamese place I'm gonna go to. Holla at me. Make sure y'all hit the thumb up on the video. Peace.